The Atlanta Hawks enter the 2025-26 season with a renewed sense of optimism after what can only be described as a pivotal offseason. For 2 straight years, the Hawks found themselves stuck in the NBA play-in tournament, falling short of their potential and raising questions about the ceiling of a Trae Young-led roster. But those frustrations are balanced by the franchise's previous track record of playoff success, including 3 consecutive postseason appearances earlier in the decade and a memorable run to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021. With a roster retooled around new additions like Kristaps Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and sharpshooter Luke Kennard, alongside the continued growth of recent number 1 overall pick Zachary Rizache and the return of a healthy Jalen Johnson, the Hawks are no longer a team clinging to the play-in. They look poised to re-enter the playoff picture as a legitimate threat in the East. The addition of Kristaps Porzingis immediately elevates Atlanta's front court, giving them a player who, when healthy at least, is among the most unique big men in the league. Standing at 7'3" with the ability to stretch the floor, block shots, and punish mismatches inside, Porzingis offers Atlanta a skill set they've lacked since the departure of Al Horford years ago. His ability to space the floor alongside Trae Young allows the Hawks' pick-and-roll game to become even more dangerous, as defenses must now respect both the lob threat and the pop-out three-point shot. This flexibility not only enhances Trae's playmaking opportunities, but also gives Zachary Rizache, among others, more room to attack the basket. The Porzingis signing is about more than just numbers here. It's about changing the geometry of the court in Atlanta's favor. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is the type of player whose impact often goes beyond the box score. Known for his defensive intensity, versatility, and improved shooting touch, Alexander-Walker brings an edge to the Hawks' rotation they've lacked on the perimeter. If you've never watched the man, he can straight up hound opposing guards, with the ability to take on assignments that lighten the load for Trae Young, who often gets targeted on the defensive end. Offensively, he's developed into a reliable three-point shooter, hitting a career-best clip in recent seasons, and his ability to play both on and off the ball makes him an ideal fit next to Atlanta's guards. By adding him, the Hawks gain a glue guy who can seamlessly blend into lineups and make life easier for stars without needing heavy touches himself. NAW was one of the hottest commodities on the free agent block this offseason, so shout out to the Hawks front office for their strategic move to bring him in. Luke Kennard, meanwhile, gives Atlanta one of the most consistent long-range shooting threats across the entire NBA. Since entering the league, Kennard has been known for his elite three-point accuracy, and his presence on the Hawks roster provides invaluable spacing for Trae Young and company. Kennard doesn't just hit open shots, he moves without the basketball. He runs off screens and creates gravity that forces defenses to extend, opening up driving lanes for his teammates. Atlanta has often struggled with perimeter shooting in recent seasons, and Kennard directly addresses that weakness. While he won't be the primary scoring option or anything, his ability to swing momentum with timely threes and punish defensive lapses adds another layer to the Hawks' offensive arsenal. Porzingis, Alexander-Walker, and Kennard each address a specific need for the Hawks, but together, they represent something larger, a commitment to surrounding Trae Young with the right mix of talent. For years, Atlanta's front office has struggled to strike the right balance between giving Trae enough help and not overloading the roster with redundancies. This offseason marks a turning point, as each of these 3 additions fits into the existing core in complementary ways. Porzingis adds star power and size, Alexander-Walker provides defense and versatility, and Kennard delivers shooting. Collectively, they give Atlanta a more balanced roster that's better suited to withstand the rigors of a deep playoff push. Of course, no conversation about the Hawks' future is complete without mentioning the name Jalen Johnson, whose health looms as one of the most important factors in Atlanta's 2025-26 outlook. Johnson has steadily grown into one of the team's most interchangeable two-way players, capable of scoring in transition, defending positions 1 through 4, and serving as a secondary playmaker. However, his recent health setbacks limited his availability last season, preventing the Hawks from fully unleashing their young core. A healthy Johnson not only strengthens the Hawks' rotation, but also provides them with a dynamic forward who can thrive alongside Porzingis in the front court. His length and athleticism give Atlanta defensive switchability, while his knack for running the floor fits perfectly with Trae Young's passing vision. Johnson's role is especially vital because he represents the bridge between Atlanta's past struggles and its future promise. When he's on the floor, the Hawks just play faster, they defend better, and look more cohesive as a unit. His absence last year highlighted just how much the team relies on his unique skill set. With him healthy and Porzingis now in the mix, Atlanta finally has the frontcourt depth to compete with the Eastern Conference's elite. In many ways, Johnson is the swing piece for the Hawks. If he stays healthy and continues to develop, Atlanta's ceiling rises dramatically. Another key to Atlanta's future is the development of Zachary Riza-Shea, the 2024 number 1 overall pick, who wrapped up his rookie season with flashes of brilliance. Riza-Shea showed why scouts were enamored with his combination of size, shooting touch, and defensive instincts, even if his production wasn't always consistent throughout the year. For a rookie thrust into significant minutes on a team still figuring out its identity, Riza-Shea handled the transition admirably. His ability to play both shooting guard and small forward gives the Hawks flexibility, and as the man's confidence grows, he's expected to become a reliable two-way contributor. For Trae Young, Riza-Shea's development couldn't come at a better time. One of the criticisms of Atlanta in recent years has been the over-reliance on Trae's scoring and playmaking, often leaving him to carry too heavy of a burden. Riza-Shea helps ease that load by providing a secondary option who can hit shots, move without the ball, and guard opposing wings. His defensive presence in particular is crucial, as it allows the Hawks to cover up some of Trae's deficiencies on this end of the floor. The pairing of Young and Riza-Shea has the potential to become one of the most dynamic combinations in the East, with Riza-Shea complementing Trae's offensive brilliance. Atlanta's offense has always revolved around Trae Young's ability to manipulate defenses, but how the Hawks are building a roster that gives him the tools to fully maximize his talents is impressive. Porzingis as a stretch 5, Kennard as a dead-eye shooter, Riza-Shea as a versatile wing, and Johnson as a do-it-all forward all fit perfectly around Trae's skill set, and this should lead to success in 2026. This spacing and versatility should unlock more efficient looks for the Hawks, reducing the wear and tear on Trae and giving the team more options when defenses inevitably load up on him in the playoffs. The days of Trae needing to do everything himself, I think, are over. Atlanta finally has a supporting cast built to amplify his strengths. When you look back at the roster on paper and consider how the pieces fit together under Quinn Snyder's system, the path back to contention is clear. The Hawks have a balanced blend of proven veterans, ascending young stars, and role players who excel at complementing their core. Trae Young finally has the supporting cast that can take pressure off of him, both offensively and defensively, while Porzingis provides the kind of frontcourt versatility that Atlanta has been missing since their playoff run in 2021. Jalen Johnson's health is a potential X-factor that could elevate them into a legitimate top 4 seed in the East, while Riza-Shea's continued development gives them a long-term cornerstone who perfectly fits alongside their existing talent. For a franchise that's been stuck in the middle, the 2025-26 season represents a fresh opportunity to climb back into the NBA's upper tier. If the chemistry comes together the way it appears on paper, this could be the season Atlanta finally transforms potential into consistent, high-level success.